Mark Consuelos, best known for his role as the formidable Hiram Lodge on Riverdale, recently found himself in the most unexpectedly awkward and oddly charming celebrity encounter of his life. Picture this. He's at the doctor, recovering from a soccer injury, dressed only in his underpants, and into his exam room walks a group of star-struck Riverdale superfans. Nope, not through a red carpet barrier, but invited in by his very own doctor. It all started innocently enough. Consuelos had pulled his quad muscle while playing soccer for the Italian team Campobasso, a squad he and his wife Kelly Ripa co-own. According to Kelly, during a segment on Live with Kelly and Mark, her husband limped into the team trainer's facility for a checkup. He was there for a routine exam, and yes, he says, he was basically standing in his underwear. Now, most people might expect a solemn, clinical atmosphere in such a moment. Hushed voices, polite professionalism, perhaps some awkward small talk. But Consuelos's doctor apparently had other ideas. As Kelly recounted, the physician casually asked him, "Would you mind meeting my wife and daughters? They're big fans of Riverdale." Consuelos, being his usual gracious self, agreed without hesitation. Next thing he knows, the doctor swings open the door and in walk not just one, but multiple people, his wife and teenage daughters, all eager to meet the actor. They piled into the room, giddy and excited. And there he was, in his underpants, playing host to this impromptu fan meet and greet. Kelly Ripa cracked up retelling the story on air. She described her husband's reaction. He was polite, friendly, but utterly disarmed by the timing. He later joked the whole thing was a lost in translation moment. Probably not how either party envisioned a first introduction. The humor here is rich. First, the idea that your doctor is such a fan of your work that he'd invite his own family into your exam. That's a level of fangirling, or fanboying, you don't usually associate with medical care providers. And second, the sheer absurdity of meeting fans while not fully clothed. There's a kind of vulnerability in that. Consuelos, the powerful Hiram Lodge, standing half naked, being admired by adoring teenage girls. It's almost cinematic in its comedic timing. But what makes the story ring even truer is how human it feels. Celebrities often talk about fans in abstract. Autograph seekers, paparazzi, convention goers. Rarely do they reflect on fan encounters that occur in the most mundane, everyday moments. Like a doctor's office. Yet for Consuelos, a medical appointment became a surprising reminder of his reach and impact, even in his most unguarded state. At the same time, there's a sweetness to it. The doctor clearly didn't just see a celebrity. He saw someone whose work had touched his family. He invited them in out of genuine appreciation. And Consuelos, rather than awkwardly refuse, embraced the meeting. He could have demurred, citing professionalism. But he didn't. He accepted, he smiled, he made eye contact. And his fans, well, they got more than just a glimpse. They got a moment. Kelly's telling of the story is just as entertaining. She recalls laughing so much on the show that she couldn't quite get all the details out. But she made sure to note. Once the doctor's family walked in, the whole dynamic changed. There was no pretension, no red carpet. Just a real-life actor, a real-life fan, and the hilarious vulnerability of real human interaction. Their on-air retelling feels like a small gift to the audience. An offbeat anecdote that humanizes a TV star. It's one thing to hear about glitzy premieres or scripted drama, but to hear about someone literally in their underwear, chatting with a fan family in a doctor's office, it's refreshingly grounded. There's also a playful commentary here about celebrity and access. In a world where meeting a famous person often requires VIP passes or social media clout, Consuelos's story subverts expectations. The meetup didn't happen at a fundraiser or a fan convention. It happened during a medical exam, orchestrated by a fan who just happened to also be a doctor. It's as real and unexpected as it gets. And though it was funny, there's some gratitude too. Consuelos is often cast as a villain on Riverdale, but here, he's simply being gracious. He didn't shy away. He didn't put up a wall. He showed kindness to fans in a moment when most people would want privacy. That generosity speaks to who he is, off-screen. After the girls left, Kelly says Mark reflected on the timing. He chuckled, noting that meeting fans in your underwear isn't exactly the most dignified moment, but, he said, he understood why the doctor had done it. The whole thing, he decided, was just a little miscommunication, a case of enthusiasm outpacing social norms. In many ways, the anecdote captures the wildly unpredictable nature of fame. One minute, you're playing a menacing character on a hit TV show. The next, you're discussing your injury and your underwear with people who look up to you. The two realities collide, in the best possible way. For Mark Consuelos, this story will likely become part of his celebrity lore, a favorite to recount in interviews, a reminder that behind every public persona, there's real life, unpredictable and strangely intimate. For fans, it's a heartwarming tale about how, sometimes, their idols are right there in the same room. No velvet rope, no autograph line, just a man, a doctor, and a little bit of awkward magic.